We like to pride ourselves on being an inclusive and tolerant country in the United States. We are not. And we saw that on Election Day, where abortion referendums were very successful in places like Michigan and in California and Vermont, which would have been sadly expected, but not Montana. Montana should absolutely be ashamed of themselves as they voted to deny health care to a baby boy or a baby girl who commits the crime of surviving an abortion, of surviving the attempt on their life. This has gotten a lot of media coverage, and I'm very grateful for it because it shows how barbaric you can get when you dehumanize the unborn child. And that is exactly what Montana, of all places, has done. Now, we have great 40 Days for Life campaigns in Montana. I've been there many times. They have a pro-life governor. They have pro-life citizens throughout their state. I have no idea what's happened to them. Maybe they've just absolutely lost their mind. I have 8 children. Many of you have children. Many of you have grandchildren or nieces or nephews. When you are in the room and your little baby girl is born, there is nothing like that. It is the best experience of your life. It doesn't matter if it's your first kid or your 4th kid or your 8th kid or your 10th kid. Everybody in that room is there to help that little baby girl. That's what they're there. The hospital's there, the nurses are there, everybody is there and would do anything for that child. Newborns, infants create a vulnerability in us that no other human on earth can do. It's quite beautiful. But even if your intent is to kill that unborn child or born child through abortion, even if that is your goal, how do you not have the heart when she survives the abortion to help that baby girl? I don't have an answer for that, other than that there is some monster living inside us, that our desire to have a child die is so great, we won't even help them when they're helpless and they survived an abortion. It is absolutely sick. There is no rational explanation. There is no wonderful political talking point. We're hearing that from the people in Montana, that there was, it was going to reduce medical costs, or, the way it was worded, it seemed like maybe the babies wouldn't survive anyways, so now we're into mercy killing. There is no explanation. You want to deny health care to a baby girl who survives an abortion. It's absolutely sick and barbaric, and Montana should be ashamed of themselves. And like we saw in 2019, which was the year of infanticide, when Governor Cuomo lit up the Empire State Building and celebrated infanticide.
I'm going to sign an executive order today that protects a woman's right to choose, protects a woman's right to contraceptive care. No insurance company can deny it, no bureaucracy can deny it, and no federal agency can deny it.
And celebrated leaving a baby girl on the table to die, and celebrated not even requiring a doctor to do abortion.
That a baby born on a table as a result of a botched abortion.
That decision should be between the patient and the healthcare provider.
I think that at that point, the patient would be the child struggling on a table. Wouldn't you agree?
That's a very good question. I really don't know how to answer that.
We saw Governor Northam in Virginia describe this process that they will now have in Montana.
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
We saw those things in 2019, and it woke a lot of people up. And 40 Days for Life had our biggest year. We saw new volunteers get involved in pro-life efforts. We saw people motivated because garbage like this, disgusting things like this, humanize the unborn child. And that's what we want. When dilapidated NPR airs a woman aborting her twins and you hear her groan and you hear the suction, it humanizes the unborn child. When Montana passes legislation that would refuse health care to a baby who survives an abortion, it humanizes the unborn. And that's what this will do. And in the big picture, the scheme of things, as sick as this is, You know, as much as people hate our country, they often don't like us for the wrong reason. This is a reason to criticize America. This is a reason to think that your own country is shameful, that we allow this to go on. But America is built that we, as pro-life Americans, can change that. And that's why you're seeing this. All of this is in a response to Roe v. Wade. And when the Supreme Court corrected their error of slavery, Reconstruction was a brutal process. It was a messy process. There were reactions all over the place. And now that we have legally, the Supreme Court has rehumanized the unborn after they dehumanized the unborn, we're seeing these radical responses. And it's a sign that we're winning. It's a sign that we need to have the fortitude, because it's not merely that we kill the unborn child in the womb, and whether we do it at 11 weeks or whether we do it at 20 weeks or whether we do it at 23 weeks, because that's when we think the baby's viable. This is the responsibility we put on the unborn child, that you have to be able to live outside of your mother in order to be worthy to live amongst us. And if that's the case, I have some college buddies that aren't viable, can't live without their mom. But this overwhelming pressure that we put on unborn children to survive on their own, all of that is a sign that we are winning, because we have a schizophrenic relationship with the unborn. We will celebrate them, we'll do surgeries on them, we'll protect them in so many ways, and then sometimes we'll just leave them out on a table to die. And this is continuing to wake a lot of people up. As Roe v. Wade was overturned, all the momentum in the grassroots, it is real. And we shared that on our Hit the Ground Running webcast, and I encourage you to watch that. But tell your friends about Montana, because you know this is the case in New York, and it is the case in California, and now unfortunately our friends in Michigan lost this battle. But Montana? So tell your friends, it's absolutely shameful. There is no excuse. It says the worst about us as Americans, and you and I can have a say in saying the best about us as Americans, as Christians, as pro-life people, that we won't tolerate that is a barbaric, sick, and bigoted culture that leaves a baby on a table to die, and we won't stand for it. That's why we resolve to pray, we resolve to fast, and we resolve to end abortion at the local level in Montana, California, New York, New Jersey, everywhere, to make abortion unthinkable. So don't allow this to just frustrate you. Allow it to frustrate you, to anger you, and to cause you to have action rooted in growing closer to Christ, so that we can defend his unborn children.